Hello there everyone, my name is Nathan Birch and today we're going to be talking about WebSockets, a little bit of async await and covering GraphQL. So in previous weeks we've talked a fair bit about async await. We looked at a lot of different examples of how to do it. Today the main thing that I wanted to talk about is WebSockets. Okay. Now your reading for this week will go into quite a bit of detail on this. If we look at these three sections here, we'll cover async await for a few minutes, WebSockets, and then a huge portion of your reading this week will be with GraphQL. Now, GraphQL, this is more for your information than anything else. You most likely will not really be using GraphQL in your projects or your assignments this semester. But it is really important to understand how GraphQL works, how it compares to SQL and NoSQL database structures, and what the benefits of using it are, and maybe the disadvantages of using it are. So we are going to be learning about that this week. Now, going into your team activity, you're just working on your project again. Just a couple weeks left of that, and then you'll be finished with the project and the class. But your proof assignment this week, using code from the week 10 activity, implement socket.io on both the client and the server to emit an update to the list from one client to all the other clients. This is really awesome. A lot of web applications do this or have a need to do this if they don't. And a lot of projects that you will likely work on eventually will have a very viable use case for sockets. All right, so let's go ahead. I found this helpful piece of code. You'll find a lot also in the Academy course, but this was really helpful. Just socket.io broadcasting. Okay, notice this is a Node app. All right, and looking at this, it's actually really simple. Okay, we said we're requiring socket.io. We had to install that with an npm install. And then once we're here, we have a couple of different functions that are working here. Okay, we have io.on, io.sockets.emit, socket.on, again, the emit. And all of these are going to work in conjunction to say, okay, hey, I have io.on, which means I have a socket that I need to open. And then if I have to communicate anything, I can. All right, so when we emit broadcast, I can pick that up anywhere, and say, hey, if there was a broadcast sent, then I'm going to go ahead and shoot off a firework or something. In this case, we're also sending an object, okay, and we have some data that we can send. There isn't a limit to how much data that we could send in this, but if there was a broadcast that says, hey, you received a new message, then that data could also hold the message. Now, there are ways to get around this, but they all eventually will cause issues, okay? Sockets are awesome because you don't have to worry about global variables. You don't have to worry about additional database calls. You can just have these connections in your application working simultaneously and asynchronously in a really, really amazing way. Okay. Now, if I wanted to pick up this broadcast, our next chunk of code down here shows how we would do that. Okay, we have socket.on. If there's a broadcast sent with emit, so if anytime I want to send a message, I'll use emit, and anytime I want to do something with that message, I'll use on and say, hey, if a broadcast is sent, then let's go ahead and do something. This data comes from this object right here. Okay, and so in this case, all it's doing is just writing it to the page, the HTML page, okay? But no matter where this is being used, if I have a bunch of controllers in my Node app or something, I can still use sockets. I can still broadcast and emit and use on and get data to where I need it. So for your assignment this week, being able to update a list from one client to all of the other clients, that is a very, very common functionality of using sockets. You think about Google Docs. If I'm writing in a document and someone else has access to the document, they can write in it and we'll see it. I will see them typing, they will see me typing, they'll see where my cursor is, I'll see where their cursor is. And sockets are a way that we could accomplish that. So I'm excited for you guys to learn more about this week and to program something awesome. So I hope you guys have a great week and I'll see you all next time.